Hello, my name is Garrett Kibble. Now we'll be talking about metaphors and similes. A simile. A simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind, used to make a description more emphatic.
Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within.
A metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applied.
Now I'm feeling so fly, like a G6, like a G6, like a G6. Now I'm feeling so fly, like a G6.
What is a metaphor? A metaphor is a figure of speech in which a term or phrase is applied to something in which it is not literally applicable, in order to suggest a resemblance.
My heart's a stereo, it beats for you, so listen close. Hear my thoughts in every note. Make me your radio and turn me up when you feel low.
Turn it
This
up a little bit.
melody was meant for you, so
Right
sing
there.
along to my stereo.
You're a falling star, you're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far. You're the swimming pool on an August day, and you're the perfect thing to say.
Hello, my name is Dana Redding, and I'll be talking about onomatopoeias and
Our next figure of
oxymorons.
speech is onomatopoeia. An onomatopoeia is the creation of words that imitate natural sounds.
Crash, bash, boom, pow. What was that sound? Rumble, growl, slurp, smack. Did you hear that? What's that? Onomatopoeia. Their words imitate sounds. Listen, they are all around. Sniff, cough, chew, ow. What was that sound? Vroom, honk, screech, crack. Did you hear that? What's that? Onomatopoeia.
Our next figure of speech is an oxymoron. An oxymoron is a combination of words that have opposite or very different
Oxymorons are
meanings.
little gems of the English language. You take two things that contradict each other, you put them together, and awful, good, awfully good. Sure, that makes sense. Phrases like act naturally, almost exactly, alone, together, clearly misunderstood, definite, maybe, exact, estimate, found, missing, genuine, imitation, good grief, passive, aggressive, peace, force, pretty, ugly, resident, alien, sweet, tart, icy, hot. I need to take a breath. Instant classic, continuing resolution, nothing much, pronounced silence, loosely packed, liquid gas, awfully good, hopelessly optimistic, fresh frozen, deliberately thoughtless, original copy, only choice, current history, and rolling stop. Are you starting to get the idea? The more opposite the words seem, the better the oxymoron.
Hello, my name is Joe Bryant, and the two figures of speech that I will be handling today are alliteration and alliteration is a term that describes a literary stylistic device. Alliteration occurs when a series of words in a row or close to a row have the same first consonant sound.
My name is Spike Spencer, and I'd like to speak to you today about a spanking new product that's making a big splash. It's a splendid soft drink called Spark. Word of its spectacular taste has already spread from Spain to Spokane and will soon span the entire planet. As the spokesperson for Spark, I'd like to inspire you and possibly your spouse to make a speedy sprint for the supermarket. This won't be a spending spree, mind you. Spark isn't expensive, despite its rich taste.
Irony. Irony is the use of words to convey the opposite of their literal meaning. A statement or situation where the meaning is contradicted by the appearance or presentation of the idea.
There are three main kinds of irony: situational, dramatic, and verbal, and each one is very different. Situational irony is the one I just explained. It's when what happens is the opposite of what you'd expect or what's appropriate. Like, say, a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. Except that's not ironic. But a no smoking sign on your cigarette break in the employee lounge of the Philip Morris Tobacco Company is situationally ironic, because that's the last place you'd expect to have that problem. In dramatic irony, there has to be an audience, and the audience knows something that the characters don't. Like how you start watching the movie Titanic and you know that boat's going down, even though nobody else does. Or like in a murder mystery TV show where you see who the bad guy is in the beginning, but no one else knows. Yet. But be careful, dramatic irony is not the same thing as foreshadowing, which is the hint of a possible future event in the story. Dramatic irony is when the audience knows something that one or more of the characters doesn't. The third is verbal irony, which is when a writer or speaker expresses the opposite of what they really mean to say. People will often say a verbally ironic statement was sarcasm, when in fact it was hyperbole, litotes, double entendre, or something else miscategorized as sarcasm. Like if camera guy says, "It's hot in here," and I say, "Really? You think?" It's verbally ironic and shares some similarities with sarcasm, but technically it's a rhetorical question. There are other debatable kinds of irony too, like cosmic, comedic, historical, and such, but some people would debate that they're actually true cases of irony. People will debate almost anything. Really? You think? Huh, irony. So that's it. That's irony. And if there were a song about irony with absolutely no irony in it at all, well then yeah, the entire song would be ironic. Which is what Ms. Morissette later claimed was her intention all along. Nice try, Little Pill, but there are those nagging cases of real irony in your non-ironic song. I just don't buy it. And I didn't buy it. We just thought it's what you ought to know. And we can't have pop culture educating you. That's like watching the news to get informed. You'll just end up all messed up.
My name is Houston Reagan, and today I'll be talking about puns and personification.
So today we're going to talk about what a pun is. I'm sure if you're doing your all's education, you'll have heard of something called punny or an illusion of that of some sort, but I guess I'll go ahead and clear the air and tell y'all exactly what it is. So a pun is a joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word or the fact that there are words that sound alike but have different meanings. So that simple definition of what a pun actually is kind of sums up its entirety. As far as application purposes go, I guess I'll go ahead and give you an example. My favorite pun is, I was trying to think of something funny to say about Miley Cyrus, but it wasn't twerking. That's about all I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and give you all a short video example of what this is, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
There he is.
Get ready.
Now, Patrick. There you go, Mr. Krabs. You always wanted to make big money.
Survive puns. So now we're going to go ahead and move on into personification. What is personification? Personification. Makes sense? No, not really. But it's really simple, actually, if you think about it. Basically, what personification is giving anything that is not human, human-like characteristics. So, for example, if we say the wind is howling like the swirling storm inside, that's, of course, from Frozen, but the wind technically can't howl. People do. And that's what personification is.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo! Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy. Yeah. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
This concludes our program on figures of speech. For further instruction, please listen to your teacher.